Yo, welcome again, audience. It's your boy Gallo, and on this video I'm going to be telling you guys why I personally believe that Gambit should be a strategist in Marvel Rivals, so let's get into it. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be saying, oh, well, he's going to be duelist. I don't care. I'm going to cope and hope that he's a strategist anyways. I don't care. We already have enough duelists in this game. I don't believe we need another. So I'm going to tell you guys why I personally believe that he should be a strategist and how it would work. So how would Gambit work as a strategist in Marvel Rivals? For one, I mean, you can make it so that he just throws cards, it sticks to an ally, and you apply healing over time. I feel like that's not exactly that hard to believe. And I'm going to show a clip on screen where he's empowering Wolverine's claws to make them do explosive damage. That could be a really cool kind of enhancement ability card that he can cast on somebody to be able to make it so that they do more damage or have an explosion after a certain amount of time. I think that would be a cool synergy to have as a strategist. And a lot of people are going to say, oh, well, he doesn't heal in lore. I mean, actually, he kind of does heal. Granted, he needed a little bit of help in the comics, but like he can heal and repair his own wounds. So who's to say he can't repair other people's wounds too? And to be honest with you, over half of these supports in this game don't canonically heal. Mantis does not heal. Sue does not heal. Ultron does not heal. And Rocket sure as hell doesn't heal. So explain to me how over half of the support cast in this game doesn't canonically heal. And to be honest with you, Rogue doesn't heal either, yet she is going to be a strategist next season. In my humble opinion, you do not have to canonically heal to be a support in this game. Yeah, you can technically pull from the deep hells of the Marvel comics to find somebody that can canonically heal, but the reason why most characters don't make sense as a strategist is because you don't need healing in the comics. Like when they're fighting Thanos, not a single person was asking for healing or needed healing after getting their body half mutilated. I don't care. Basically, you don't get healing when you're a superhero. That's just not how it works. There are supporting cast, yeah, but there's not really healers. And that's why a lot of characters that you see that everyone suggests or wants to have be a strategist don't canonically heal is because of that very reason. And I think people need to understand that. And you can't run a game with 50 million duelists and 4 strategists. That's just not how you run a hero shooter. To me, I personally think we should have a double support season next because we wanted to at least be even with tanks. I think at least that would make it so that support players are very happy. And to be honest with you, Gambit's a really popular character. So if you do make him a strategist, that's a lot more people willing to play the role, because let's be so for real right now, there's not really any big names in support right now. You have Loki, which Loki is really popular, but unfortunately they gutted him, so he can't get played that much anymore. But in general, I think most of the supports aren't exactly big home names that a lot of people know. If you go to DPS, there are so many big names in that roster. You have Spider-Man, you have Storm, you have Wolverine, you have so many other different characters you have in DPS. I think support needs a big name in it, and Rogue and Gambit would be a really cool synergy of supports to have in this game, and I want them so badly to both be strategists. It's insane. I think the whole concept of a card throwing, card casting support is just a really cool idea, and I really hope they expand upon it. I understand that they have already locked in a lot of their characters, but let's be so real right now. We do not need another duelist. I'm so incredibly tired of them just keep adding duelist every single season. It does not matter. And yes, DPS is the most popular role right now, but let's be honest with you, if you go to look at any other game, support has just as many players as DPS. I'm gonna be real with you. You go to Overwatch, the longest queue times are support. It's not DPS, and that's for a reason. It's because when you design a lot of supports that are fun and interactive, that aren't heal bots and can DPS, use utility and stuff, they're less focused on the MMO heal bot-esque role and more so just on sub DPS that have utility instead of a bunch of damage. And I think that's how the supports in this game should work, because they're more fun that way. There's a reason why Loki, Mantis, Atom, Ultron are the more fun supports in this game, is because they're not just spamming their teammates with healing. It is because they have so many ways you can play them and that there are utility as their main focus. So that's why I personally believe that when they add these two characters, I really hope that Gambit is a strategist. So how would I want Gambit to play as a strategist in this game? I would personally want him to be an enhancement type. support character, kind of like Mantis, where you cast a said card or something on an ally, and after a certain amount of time or during that said duration, they have like little tiny explosive damage that makes them do a little bit more burst damage, or like maybe they apply anti-heal or like heal reduction or something, or maybe they apply damage reduction when they have that form up. There's so many possibilities you can do with Gambit being a support character, and I just want I want the devs to think outside the box for once in their life, because they, like, a lot of people were also suspecting that Daredevil could be a tank, and let's be so real right now, he can get up to 450 base HP, and he is by far, I mean by far, the tankiest dive character in the game. I feel like it's not that big of a stretch to just increase his hitbox a little bit and make him a tank. Like, I feel like it wasn't that difficult for even think about him being a tank in the first place, and it kind of frustrates me that they decide to make these kind of weird DPS tanky hybrids when they could have just made them tanks. Like Mr. Fantastic, before he got added to the game, I thought he could just be a tank, because his whole entire thing is like taking in a bunch of damage and being elastic and stuff. That to me sounds more like a tank than a duelist. And for Wolverine, his whole thing is regenerating, like tanking hits, and he's a duelist in this game. And I feel like it's not going to be that hard to convert characters like that, or just make characters like that just tanks in general. And characters that canonically heal, like Witch, Phoenix, Iron Fist, those characters canonically heal, yet they are in the DPS role instead of the strategist role. Imagine a world where Iron Fist is actually a really fun melee dive support, or like Scarlet Witch is like a caster mage type of support character, or Phoenix. I'm gonna be real with you, Phoenix is just a copy and paste of Hela, so I feel like they could have done a little bit more innovating and thinking when designing the character at all. But she could have been an also really fun resurrection style of support character. But for whatever reason, the devs decided we need to make these hybrids, but only for DPS characters. So I don't really understand that. It's really frustrating, and to me, as someone who primarily likes playing support, it gets really boring and tiring when every single season I just see, oh, well, you got another DPS character, we have another DPS character, oh yeah, by the way, we gave you Ultron, but basically it's a DPS character with an AFK heal on it. And it's like, he doesn't even play to his hero fantasy, which is like the worst part for me. Adam Warlock can canonically fly, yet he is basically have no chance of flying in this game, which is really unfortunate and really sad. That is why I am personally kind of frustrated with how they've kind of laid out their characters in this game. It's quite infuriating that this game dropped 3 whole duelists, 4 if you include Ultron, and 5 if Gambit is first phase, before strategists get their 10th character, which is absurd to me. And I don't know who at NetEase thought that was a great business decision, but I really do hope. Okay, I'm not gonna go that far, but I think they're kind of stupid. At the end of the day, all I want is a double support season to at least make us even with the amount of tanks in the game. Do I think supports are really strong right now? Yes, but ultimately it's about more fun factor for me than them being good. I would rather the support role be garbage, but like be really fun to play. There's a reason why so many people enjoy playing Spider-Man. It is because he's fun above everything else. He's not OP, he's not like oppressive, he's just fun to play, and I think a lot of people preferred for their character to be fun rather than them be strong. That is my personal thoughts on a Gambit as a character. So what do you guys think about it in the comment section? Should Gambit be a support in Marvel Rivals? I personally think so. I'm biased as hell, so I don't care what DPS man you are in the chat. I frankly do not give a fuck. But I really want for Gambit to be a strategist in season 5. I think this game has enough duelists. You can go without several duelists for a couple seasons and you'll be fine. But yeah. And for anyone who wants to address lore, please, if you are against Gambit being a strategist because he quote-unquote doesn't heal, please explain to me why X characters that I listed previously in this video are strategists right now. Over half of the strategists we currently have in this game do not canonically heal. And let's say even if they did canonically heal, would they heal somebody? Would Loki even attempt to heal somebody? Or Ultron attempt to heal somebody? Would Rocket even create a gun to be able to heal someone? I don't personally think so, And so if you provide arguments like that, I'm just not going to take you seriously. So instead of like trying to say, oh, well, X character doesn't fit as a support character, think outside the box. And for once in your life, we have enough duelists in this game. It burns out a lot of people who play the other roles because we have to flex around everyone who wants to play duelist. And it's just very infuriating. So yeah, I'm very curious to see what you guys think about it in the comment section. But with all that being said, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.